Okay, so I grabbed my spoolie, and of course I grabbed my friend's mirror, and I'm just going to brush all of the hairs that I do have up as straight as possible. And I was just sort of measuring to make sure that they were going to be in the same place when I started to pencil them in. So I'm just brushing them up. I'm taking the wax from ColourPop. Once you've used it, it looks kind of grody, but it works really well. This is just a spray water. It's literally just water. And once you start using it, it can dry a little bit. So spraying just a little bit of water really, really helps. And I just sort of stir it around with the brush that you can buy with this particular wax. Again, it's going to look gross, but I go ahead and make sure that the brush is evenly coated and not chunky on any parts. And then I run it through the brows, pushing them up sort of straight, coating all of the brow hairs that I have. I'm actually working it in there just to make sure that the brow hairs are fully coated, because the more that they're coated, then the longer it lasts. So I just continue doing that. And I really like the brush that it came with. It did cost extra. I think it was like maybe, I don't know, $6 for the brush and $6 for the wax. I mean, ColourPop is, you know, really affordable. And if you get sort of a discount or use a coupon code, you can get it even cheaper. Just make sure that you evenly coat your brows. And then before I go in with the pencil or any other products, I do make sure that it's dried down. And so then I'm just going to use, this is the LA Girl Micro Brow, I think it's called. And what I'm going to do is go back through what is dried. Remember, you want it to be dried. And sort of just make those short little, you know, strokes that look like brow hairs. And I go in and I fill in what I have already. And I just continually go back through, starting at the front, moving to the back, starting at the front, moving to the back with those short little strokes. Once I get that in there, then what I'm going to do is run that micro brow pencil along the bottom and sort of start putting a shape to the brow, because even though I'm doing brow hairs, I still want it to be in a particular shape. So I do need that sort of guideline to make sure that I'm creating brow strokes in the right spot. And then I move on to the other side, and I have a little bit more brows on this side, so I just really start with that, you know, under guideline along the bottom. And I really like this LA Girl Micro Brow Pencil. I think it's like $4.99, and you can get it in some deals. So now I'm going to go back through and continue making those strokes based on that guideline that I put in there. And, you know, it's supposed to be sort of like that bushier brow, so it doesn't have to be, you know, perfect. But as you can see, it really starts to emulate what brow hairs look like if you had brow hairs. I only have brow hairs sort of in the front. So then I move on to the other side. I just wanted to sort of switch the camera angle so you can really get and see how I do this. I know for some people this may seem like a long process. I actually really enjoy the brow process. If you enjoy the brow process, put that down below. And if not, tell me what your favorite part of like doing your makeup is. So now I move on to my favorite precision brow. I love the products from Benefit. I love the brow products. Some people ask me why I use both types of brow pencils. And the reason is because A, the consistency is a little bit different. And there are some micro brow pencils I don't like because they're actually too waxy. I love the Benefit products so much. And I just like the ergonomics of this as well. I only ever get these when it's like the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale because they're like 50% off. Because they are like $24, but I mean, they're worth it at full price, but I'd rather get two for the price of one, you know? So I move through. The reason I also use two different brow pens or pencils is for the colors. You know, natural brows aren't one flat color, so I feel like especially when you're doing this sort of bushy brow technique, using different pencils and pens with different colors is really important. Now I'm moving on to sort of the front part and filling in some of the holes. This is actually the ColourPop, and it's a felt sort of pen. I love this one for, so as you can see, I'm moving through here and using those pencils, the wax can sort of build up on top of the wax that you just put on. I don't think it's as big a deal if you have brows, but when you're sort of adding brows, it is a really big deal. So I use that pen because it'll go over the wax and dry down. And yeah, that's how I do it.